To a lot of people, it's just a cup of coffee. It's a little thing. But to some others, coffee is this big, gigantic thing where hundreds of people are touching these seeds to make a delicious drink for somebody on the other side.
Aha moment was when, I mean, you can relate it back to bike racing, where you travel to these cities in other countries in the US, you find the perfect cup, really. I mean, it's just kind of, it's about when you're racing or you're traveling and you're training, you go from town to town all summer long, and you try to find the best cup. And that's how it was kind of involved with coffee. That was the first moment.
Well, it's kind of fine.
It is kind of fine. Maybe we did 8. I don't know.
I'm all over the board, Henry. See that. Tell us about what was going through your head in setting this place up.
What was going through my head?
Yeah, like why a bar, why a PB, why do you have the picture insert in front of there, like in case, like what was the
I have this friend that holds my hand through a lot of this stuff. His name's Perry.
Yeah.
You know?
It's me.
Yeah.
I was behind the setup.
Pretty much. The architects didn't have a clue on how, like, the new kind of coffee bar setups are.
Yeah.
They definitely were a little clueless on all that stuff. I had to talk them through it all. Sweet. Thanks for the grab.
What are you for?
The business started with Stella, my wife, working at the hospital. And she was just kind of tired of the hospital cafeteria. The cafeteria itself brewed some crappy coffee. And the cafeteria itself was pretty crappy. But so I took it on a whim saying, I can provide that for you. And so we built these 4 little carts, all mobile, on wheels. We just rolled it into the lobby of the hospital. I became more of an information booth in the hospital than coffee provider. But my biggest fan was my wife, there 2 times a day. And then her practice came down. Everyone inside there came down. There's a little local, like, open air market down the street. And the owners, I approached them before the hospital to move in, and I was told there's no spaces, which was completely opposite. Everything was open, but I just talked to the wrong person. And then 6 months later, when I realized the hospital wasn't it for me, I got a hold of them again. They came over that day and said, yes, we want you in. And it was the process of maybe a month where we got the electric hooked up, and we just rolled that thing down up in an open flatbed truck and pulled it out, and it was up and running.
All right, this is 9. I think it's at 9. Many of you might not be able to tell the difference, but you want it to be pretty coarse. stick with 9. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9.
Yeah, I should have it this way.
We're just getting the dry, what is called fragrance. When you add water, it's called aroma.
Are you excited?
Pretty excited. Beginning to finally cup the coffee that I worked with in Costa Rica.
I think he's been clearing out his
Finding out if it's good or not.
This is really good.
We also have some Indian coffees in here, but we're doing it blind, so it's hard. Yeah. I think that's probably the natural.
Really?
So we have a mix of Indian coffees that one of my friends wants me to bring into the country, and my Costa Rican coffee. Oh, I think this is my honey, but I could be wrong. Now we're gonna add water after this step.
I can't hold the excitement.
This one's really good too. I hope that's my washed.
What'd you say? I actually hope. Like a cartoon.
It was all educational for me. It was just information every night. If I was watching videos or reading articles, taking information from people like you or people like Jeff or people that influences me through coffee in Tucson. I mean, it wasn't a lot. It was more going out. I got to go to Handlebar Coffee Roasters, which is another friend of mine that also bike race. Gave me a lot of knowledge.
Tell me about how you came into Stella, and what it's done for you, and what it's done for Tucson.
Oh, that's a really, really big question. Okay, to keep it super brief, I was managing the front of house of Time Market, and the day I quit, I came and talked to Curtis, and he promised me a job, and promised me all the resources and growth that I was willing to take. The biggest, most exciting thing is like the community. I'm sure you saw part of that last night, where just like 75% of the people that come in a day know your name and ask you what's going on with you and know your situation. And that's really what we're trying to build, is like a really comfortable community where people can talk, and then they trust us more to educate and become aware about coffee. Well, Tucson is a really great community. I've spent a lot of time in a lot of places in Arizona, and it definitely has like the best community feel. I've never felt like I have more of a family or more like a home setting than here, and I think everybody feels that way. That's why a lot of people stay here, and the downtown community is so small knit. So that's really what we like to bring to the table is, you know, we really want to be like family, we really want to be community. And then as far as our beans, you know, I'm a little biased, but honestly, like, I'm part of the whole process, and we really, really, really care, and I can say that, like, down to like buying quality beans, to roasting them to the best way we can, to cupping them, to even like brewing. You know, there are certain things that people will order and we'll be like, you should try this on AeroPress. You know, we've found that this is the best on this, you know, and we're really trying to get the best beans and have the best experience from those beans. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
This has all been a monthly step for me. It's like you go from this long and you go, okay, let's take this next step. And from here, I've been accepted for Tucson Startup, which they take businesses and make them better. So I don't have an education in business, so to educate myself in that is where I want to go next.
Anything else you want to add to people watching Coffee Scene? Alright, we're done then.
Do you like that? I'm Tilly. I suck at it as an interviewer. Interviewee.